Hey there kids, it's time for another Christmas story. Tonight's story is going to be about Nazis, bombs, and agents. We're going to tell you the tale of World War II, where Adolf Hitler threatened to seize world power and eliminate any and all impure. This story should help you better understand the dates, people, and events of the war.
Our story begins when the imperialist powers of Japan and Nazi Germany began consolidating power and conquering neighboring nations like China in 1931 and Poland in 1939, respectively. With China already in conflict over the Communist Party attempting to seize power by Mao Zedong against the ruling Nationalist Party controlled by Chiang Kai-shek, it was easy for Japan to attack and invade China through Manchuria. In Europe, however, with Germany already stocking weapons for years, developing war machines and a plethora of weapons, and using their quick bombing and invasion Following this, however, the Soviet Union, led by Communist leader Joseph Stalin, declared war on its former ally, while on the opposite side of Germany, France, after being thoroughly beaten in also experiencing conflict in leadership in France, the French military and government declared a formal surrender in 1940, and a vast percentage of soldiers laid down their arms. With the war looking obviously unfavorable to the remaining Allied powers, the USSR and the UK, headed by Sir Winston Churchill and the British Commonwealth, they needed assistance from another world power, the United States. With the US government looking for a scapegoat to enter the war, Congress declared war on Japan and thus Germany in 1941 after the Pearl Harbor attack, with a unanimous vote in Congress voting in the affirmative with Franklin D. Roosevelt heading this decision. Quite quickly, the US dispatched its nearly full navy to the Pacific, attacking the Japanese control islands like Lake Island. With the US fighting in the Pacific theater with Japan, it also had time to dispatch a large military force to retake France and launch an offensive on Germany from the beaches of Normandy, which is the central northern portion of France, on the iconic D-Day, or June 6, 1944, to take the beach where the Nazis had set a defense perimeter to stop an invasion. Having thousands die here to take the beach, eventually the Americans, with several other nations' assistance, fought and retook Paris in 1944. With France liberated and German forces retreating, the Soviets pushed back into heartland Germany and liberated most internment death camps such as the notorious Auschwitz in 1945. With Germany officially losing the war, Hitler had put on a chokehold on all directions and fearing defeat. Once Berlin had been captured and Führer on the run, his final bunker had been taken, the pure and rightful ruler took his own life in 1945 with his mistress, Eva Braun, by cyanide capsules to escape the reprimands for his international crimes against humanity. Even after all this, however, Japan continued the war in the Pacific even after the US threatened it with, quote, prompt and utter destruction. When on August 6, 1945, the US dropped the first of 2 atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, respectively. Following this, and a declaration of war by the USSR, Japan surrendered, thus ending the Cold War.